Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus, for this evening's contest between the Cal Vulcans and the Penn State Fayette Lions. This is Joshua Scully with you here tonight on CUTV alongside Braxton Turner. Only 20 miles separate these two campuses by the motor vehicle of your choice. And tonight we're going to see the Penn State Fayette Lions take on the Cal Vulcans, some men's college basketball action. Call it the Crosstown Showdown. Call it the National Road Rumble. Braxton, this one's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, definitely for sure. Definitely a beauty will be to watch how these teams duke it out and how they will adjust as this game goes on.
This is a great opportunity for Penn State Fayette to fine-tune their game heading into the beginning of their conference schedule, which will begin next Friday against Penn State York. The Cal Vulcans already have 2 games under their belt, including an exciting win against Charleston. Double overtime for that one. The Cal Vulcans are 2-0. Penn State Fayette coming into this one 1-0. Braxton, one storyline here to watch with a good crowd on hand is that the Cal Vulcans have an interesting local prospect here from the Uniontown, Pennsylvania area. That's Keandre DeShields. He is dressed tonight. We expect that he will make his way onto the court at some point in time. And certainly for our local fans here, that's something to get excited about. One of our local products doing well here, playing big-time college basketball.
Yeah, definitely will be a joy to see him at the college level. I remember playing against him in high school as well. Just transferred over, I believe, from St. Francis. So he's gotten a couple of minutes so far. I'd imagine Coach Shankum will mix him in more so as he fills out his playing style and as, of course, just filling out the whole team as well. But definitely a solid player for any roster.
New coach for Penn State Fayette this season, it is Trey Austin. He is a former assistant coach with Frostburg State, has done a great job with the program here in the early goings of the 2024-2025 season. He is assisted tonight by Sean Brown. And, of course, for the Cal Vulcans, Braxton, we've got a long-time fixture on the bench and their head coach.
Yeah, Danny Sancombe and a good bit of these players have stuck around for quite a while, which is always nice for as a coach and as a team that you have players and a coach that has players that will stick around for that team. Sancombe does a great job pretty much of keeping these guys together as a unit. Not too much infighting, and at least if there is any infighting, he makes sure that it's not seen on the outside. These guys do play pretty well together.
We'll see Zachary Hill for Penn State Fayette, number 12, step into the center circle here. And he will oppose number 2, Bryson Lucas, for the jump ball. Cal in their black, red, and white uniform. The jump is won by Cal, and this is going to be Donald Whitehead Jr. with the first possession. He goes to his right on the wing. Ball going to be worked back up top now. This is Cam Pullock. He's going to defer to his right again, number 22, Caden Hanna. This one's going to be knocked out of bounds, but it will stay with Cal coming off the baseline right on the second end in Penn. Stepping out to handle this one, number 13, Donald Whitehead Jr. Comes in our way to Pullock, back to Whitehead. Nice little fake there, and he hangs up a long time on the jumper. He gets it to stick, and it's 2-0 now. Cal up front, 19:35 to play in the first half. Working point here for Penn State Fayette. Jesse Lawson Jr., he's someone Fayette wants to see going early and often tonight. One of their leading scorers in their first contest. Here's a name that will be no stranger here to the Penn State Fayette faithful on hand. Cy Jones misses that first jumper. Coming back the other way, Pullock pulls the deep three, no good. Strong rebound inside by Keith Pallick. And Keith Pallick and Braxton, I'm sure this is a name that's going to be exciting for Cal all season. Keith Pallick, the 6'8", senior working inside. He is a force when he gets going.
Yeah, definitely has an inside and out game. Can spot up for 3 and can work inside. Only downside possibly to his game, it could be size, coming up against bigger opponents, but you don't really see this too often, at least we haven't. But has a nice touch inside and all around the rim. Does well and will find his teammates as well.
Cam Pullock going to knock down both foul shots for Cal, and it's a 4-0 game. The Lions will send this one in to Cy Jones, back to Lawson. These were the 2 leading scorers for Penn State Fayette in their first matchup against Penn Highlands. Fayette came up on the short end of that one by 10. Ball going to move to the left. This is Hill coming back our way now. William Powell going to defer to Cy Jones. Jones, a very exciting player out of Fairmont, sends it our way to Zachary Hill. Hill's going to drive the baseline. Is blocked. Coming back the other way is Pullock. Pullock, full head of steam, going to lead the charge. Pops it over to Whitehead. Whitehead pulls it down and moves it to number 11. That's Palak, and then go back to Whitehead. Rebound is going to be kicked around inside, and it's going to go to Penn State Fayette. William Powell will step out and do the honors for this Penn State Fayette team. He's going to bounce it into Cy Jones. Jones going to get some help from Lawson. Lawson picks it up there and begins to move it toward the timeline. Now he is across. Cal playing a pretty aggressive defense here, man-to-man, not giving Fayette much room to work with. The Lions coming off the far wing. Cy Jones pops one out. Baseline drive. William Powell goes up off the glass, and he gets it to stick for two. And the Penn State Fayette crowd comes to life with that one. It's 4-2. Coming back the other way, Whitehead to Palak, moving it across the top. This is a three-point look by number 22, Caden Hanna, no good. Rebound pulled down inside by Cal. This one is going to go out of bounds off a white jersey, I believe. Possibly Lawson getting a touch on that before it goes across the baseline, and the basketball with 18:06 to play is going to stay with the Cal Vulcans. Whitehead comes our way to Pullock, and that one's knocked out of bounds. Good job there by Penn State Fayette's number 3, Brandon Dennison, the first-year player from Charleston, West Virginia, the state capital of the Mountain State. Of course, the Cal Vulcans were just in Charleston not too long ago, an exciting double overtime win. And Braxton, I'm sure that one was an enjoyable win for Cal, considering that's how their season ended last year. They ended against that Charleston team in the postseason. Ball going to come in here to Pullock. Pullock going to pull it down off the wing, moves it up top to Palak. Palak on the drive, defers on the pop-out shot there. Bryson Lucas, he's an exciting player. Going to be saved inside, fighting hard is Hanna, trying to go up for the putback, and Hanna is going to draw the foul. And we're going to see two shots here. Hanna stepping up to the foul line. He's been busy already this evening, really moves the floor well. And Cal is only going to have one man stand along the paint. That is the 6'8 Palak. And the first shot is good. 5-2 your score, 17:55 to play here in the first half. Truly just 20 miles by the pavement between these two campuses, so a bit of a rivalry here given the geography. The second shot's good. Ball comes in from Lawson to Jones, then back to Lawson. Lawson going to take the center lane across the Nittany line. Now he defers a little bit our way. He's working against Hanna. Moves to Jones. Jones, the dangerous player off the wing, wants to drive to high post. He pops it back out to Lawson. Lawson fakes the shot, going to lose the ball, but he gets it back under control easily. Going to continue to work against Hanna. Ball comes our way to Dennison and back up top to William Powell. Powell, little drive, going to lose his footing. Goes back to Lawson. Lawson wants the deep three ball, and he hits it. And it's 6-5 now in favor of the Vulcans. Coming back the other way is going to be Whitehead. Whitehead gives out his direction, moves the ball our way. This is the dangerous Bryson Lucas off the near wing. Pops it out to the big man for three. No good. The rebound is going to ricochet out to Whitehead, who feeds Hanna in the lane. Hanna going to be cut off. Turns it around, and it's a little flip pass to Palak, who worked it and timed that perfectly. An easy two. 8-5 now in favor of the Vulcans. Lawson, first year with Penn State Fayette, across the timeline. He's a dynamic player, somebody who can make it happen from just about anywhere for this Lions team. Going to move it our way to Cy Jones, the pride of Fairmont, West Virginia. Going to drive off the wing, big fire across to Dennison. Dennison pulls it down, goes to Powell in the corner. Powell across the middle lane, going to bounce it out to Lawson, back up top to Jones. Jones wants the deep three and just rattles out. Rebound pulled down by Pullock. Pullock going to push it ahead to Hanna. Hanna going to be trapped momentarily by a combination of number 12, Hill, and Jones for Fayette, but the inside dish is good. Whitehead made that look easy, and we talked a little bit ahead of time, Braxton, about Whitehead and the fact that he's off to a great start this season. He's an exciting player, very quick on his feet. Yeah,
definitely. He came through pretty big in some moments last season, not starting, but coming off the bench and just coming off in a big way, especially likes to work inside, pull up jump shots. Almost a game that mirrors like an earlier style, like 90s style mid-range game, but definitely can and will step out sometimes as well.
Big pass down the floor to Palak, going to be a bit too tall for the 6'8 senior. And we're going to see a couple of new players checking in here for Penn State Fayette, including Emmanuel Dotson and Sean Cunningham. Cunningham, the fourth-year player from Virginia, has a good outside jumper. Emmanuel Dotson, the fourth-year player from Pittsburgh, gives Penn State Fayette some strong presence inside. Not surprisingly, Palak is going to drift his way and try to cover him up. Cy Jones going to be double-teamed, tries to go back to Dawson. Hanna's going to jump that one ahead to Palak. Palak finishes it off through the glass, 12-5. in favor of the Vulcans now. Coming back the other way, Cy Jones. Fayette looking for a bucket here. Going to bounce it this way. This one will get away. No touch. They were looking for Lawson in the corner. Jesse Lawson, the third-year player from Michigan, has a long history of basketball experience, certainly for that young man. Here's Pullock to Palick to Hannah. Far side working off the elbow. Back up top to number 2, Bryson Lucas. Now an inside give and a good drive and finish from Cam Pullock, the junior from West Homestead, Pennsylvania, and a graduate of Still Valley. That program has a long tradition of basketball excellence, to say the very least. A couple of substitutes going to check in here for California, including number 20, Alexander, number 23, Antoine Emmett. And at the foul line now, number 1, Cam Pullock. 14-5 your score. This one will rattle in for the Vulcans. 15-5, 15:09 to play. Ball comes into Cy Jones, then back to Lawson. So far, Penn State Fayette has had a couple of big baskets. Now they need a couple more to get this one close again. Lawson working off the far wing. Good defense here. Not a lot of room to work with. Pass up top to Cunningham. Going to hand it off to Jones. Our way to Dotson. Dotson off the wing, back up to Jones. Jones wants to drive, and he is not quite able to finish. Strong rebound by Dotson up off the glass. No good. Rebound by Palick. Feeds ahead to Whitehead. Whitehead has help too, and he's going to use that help for the dunk coming from number 20. Recently checked in Alexander, the sophomore from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Good help there for Whitehead. Cunningham coming back the other way. Dotson up top. Going to move it to Lawson. Lawson off the wing. Hand off to Dennison. Penn State Fayette looking for an answer. They're down 12. Cunningham thinks he has it. Three-point look. No good. Dennison, strong rebound. Dennison wants to go up, and he just could not get it to go in. Dennison, another rebound. Little dribble pass back out to Lawson. Lawson to Jones. Jones wants to make his move. Goes to the elbow. Jumper is no good. And Penn State Fayette unfortunately struggled in this department in their game against Penn Highlands. They got plenty of looks. Could not get as many to drop as Coach Austin wanted. Dotson trying to stop Palick here, and he's going to draw the foul as Palick made his move. And so far, we've got a timeout taken here, a full timeout. And so far, Braxton, we've seen some of that strong play that has characterized the Cal Vulcans through 2 games. They are 2-0 for a reason. This is a good Cal team, and they were good last year, too. Excellent run, got into the postseason, of course, had the difficult postseason defeat, but it had to be sweet for them to get the revenge right out of the gate against Charleston.
Yeah, to be honest with you, they also posted on their social media as well. As soon as I got into the locker rooms, they were celebrating like they've definitely won something big. I mean, definitely at that point, just to get revenge and take out the team, win against the team that took you out of the playoffs now. This team altogether just works together pretty well. I know first couple of possessions, just shots weren't falling, but where they make up for when their shots aren't falling, they'll make up for in their hustle pretty much as well.
And we've got to see a lot of great hustle from Cal so far. They complement each other well. They're playing the floor together well. They're moving well. You can tell there's a strong sense of some common ground between their skill sets. Even when Whitehead here had a nice jump on the play, it looked like the Lions were going to cut Whitehead off, but then he has help on the other side of the play. Easy feed across for 2. And, of course, Alexander finishes with a big dunk. 17-5 currently your score. 13:54 to play here in the first half at Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus. Penn State Fayette has called this location home now since the 1960s. In fact, we are just a few steps removed from Cafe 65, the restaurant here on campus that pays homage to the history at this location. Fayette with a little deeper roots all the way back into the 30s. In downtown Uniontown, Pennsylvania, first one from Palick is good. 18-5 your score. Palick, second one, perfect. Going to be 19-5. Penn State Fayette now will want to answer, try to keep this one close before the half. Across the timeline, this is going to be number 1. Ray Wilcox had a strong first game against Penn Highlands. He goes to Cy Jones. Ball gets moved this way. This is Jack Taylor. Taylor back up top to Cy Jones. Jones, someone who is a dynamic, game-changing player, but Cal is not giving him a whole lot of room to work with. He's going to try to take whatever he can get anyway. Floats one up. no good, and that one is going to be last touched by Emmanuel Dotson, and that will be Cal Vulcans basketball from the A in Fayette. Palick will send this one in. 13:23 to play here in the first half. It's going to be Whitehead working against Taylor. He sends it our way to Alexander. Alexander has only been in the game for a few moments, has already made his impact felt. Ball to Palick, the big man, on the drive, and dumps it in off the glass. That's 21-5. Coming back the other way is Wilcox for Penn State Fayette. Wilcox across the timeline. Penn State Fayette wanting to get something going here. They get the ball to Taylor on the wing. Taylor trying to find some space. Not a whole lot there to have. Back to Wilcox. Deep three ball, and this one off the base of the rim, no good. Rebound ripped down by Alexander. He goes to Palick. Palick wants to lead the charge, and he's got some help. Down the lane, going to take it all the way himself off the glass, and somebody give that man a hand. He made it look very, very smooth, and he's fouled on the way. 23-5 as the score stands right now. 12:43 to play here in the first half. And Braxton, you and I talked about this pregame. This is a good Cal team. We certainly knew that. This Penn State Fayette team has got some new players. They want to get the pieces to fit together in the next 10 days before they face Penn State York. What a great test this is against a strong Cal team.
Definitely, and that will be a test, I guess, can be on all marks, that mental battle of trying to keep yourself in the game mentally, even when your shots are not falling. That'll happen at any point, no matter how good you are. Now, mental part is so important. It's just as important, if not more, than the physical and the skill part of any game.
Perchinsky going to defer to Wilcox. Wilcox drives to the block, pops it out to Dotson. Dotson drives to the last peg, up off the glass for two, and Emmanuel Dotson, as he is often wont to do, what a great season he had last year for this Penn State Fayette team. He gets it off the glass. Great work, and it's 24-7. Coming back the other way, Whitehead against Wilcox, going to move it to his right, and this is number 12, Jordan Buchanan, then comes all the way across the court, little drive in, pops it back out to Alexander, and then back to Buchanan, who hits the three, just one step inside the sideline. That's a deep shot. 24-7. Cal expands their lead. Ball comes here to Wilcox on the wing. Wilcox up top to Dotson. Dotson moves it over. Perchinsky going to reset the play with Wilcox. Now they get it to Cy Jones. Jones trying to make something happen, as he often does. Goes up for two, cannot get it to stick, and the rebound is going to go to the Vulcans. And the Vulcans going to carefully reset themselves here, waiting for everyone to be down the floor. They go to Whitehead. Whitehead pull-up jumper is good, and that young man has looked very good tonight all over the floor for the Cal Vulcans. 29-7. Cy Jones across the timeline to Dotson up top. They get it to Perchinsky. 22-point game here with 11:17 to play in the first half. Wilcox brings it our way to Taylor. Taylor for three. Off the base of the rim, no good. And the rebound is going to be pulled down by Buchanan. Buchanan contested there a little bit, but he gets the ball ahead, and now we're going to have some contact. No call. Ball popped out to Whitehead. Our wing, no good. Rebound inside Alexander. Easy putback. And there's a timeout queued up by Penn State Fayette once again. Braxton, what we're really seeing here more than anything else, and I had mentioned earlier, Penn State Fayette, they're getting the shots. They're still getting the shots, just have not quite got them to stick. That hurt them some in their first game against Penn Highlands. Certainly, if you're going to find the silver lining to that, when you're getting the shots on a night where you get them to fall, that's all the better. But tonight, I do get a sense that this Cal team, they're nice and tall, and Penn State Fayette is struggling with that right now.
Yeah, definitely for sure. And they've got Penn State Fayette has definitely gotten some good looks here now, especially the higher the league, the higher the skill, the more so that those made or missed shots will make an impact on your game. Definitely gotten the looks. It's just a matter of finishing that play off. You could get an open look and do everything right. Just if you don't have that finish, it almost will have no effect, and it will kind of hurt your chances as the game goes on. As you said, Cal definitely a little bit longer, so probably the most length that they will definitely have to play against. So maybe a little bit jarring.
Right now, the Lions trying to get something going. Here's a good look from number 11, Jesse Lawson in traffic, knocks it down. Great shot by Lawson, and when Fayette needed it, he's someone that the Lions are going to really lay on hard this summer and expect a lot from. Cal looking to answer, and it's going to be Taylor with some nice defense. Stretches that left arm out, knocks the ball away. So following the timeout by Coach Trey Austin for Penn State Fayette, a quick bucket for the Lions, and it's 31-9. Ball going to come in here. This is Hanna. Three-point look. No good. And the rebound is going to be pulled down by Lawson. He's doing it all right now. And he gets himself out of trouble, pushes it ahead to Taylor. Taylor off the far sideline, back up top to Lawson. Lawson going to defer here. This is going to be number 25, Amir Powell, back up top to Dotson, bringing it our way on the drive. Wilcox buys himself a little bit of space, and he gets it to stick. And the Lions have strung together a couple buckets here. Cal looking to slow things down. We're about 10 minutes to go in the half. Here's a drive and a floater put up. Nicely done by number 33, Asim Gunther. And it's 31-11. Coming back the other way, Wilcox on our wing. Nice move by Wilcox. And will he make it count? Yes. And everything is coming up right here from the Lions following Coach Austin's timeout. They're on a 6-2 run. Coming back the other way, Gunther moves it far side, off the wing, tied up here momentarily. Lawson nearly had a hand on that. Hannah going to work the baseline. It's knocked out of bounds by Taylor. And we're going to see a couple of substitutions each way. Duncan Moy checking in for Cal, and we're going to take a media timeout here on CUTV. We'll be right back in just a moment.
The 2024 PSAC Football Championship game is coming to Adamson Stadium on Saturday, November 16th. The West Division champion California Vulcans will host the East Division champion Kutztown Golden Bears at noon for the right to be called the 2024 PSAC champion. Game day information will be available at calvulcans.com, and if you can't make the game, CUTV has you covered on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube or the PSAC Digital Network.
Welcome back to CUTV. Joshua Scully here with you tonight alongside Braxton Turner at Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus. Braxton, we know the score is 33-13 in favor of the Cal Vulcans, but let our viewers at home know what else has been happening in this game.
Yeah, looking at the stats, the field goal percentage is a nice difference between the two. 12 of 20, the Vulcans right now, so sitting around 60% after missing the few shots out of the gate, and then Fayette has definitely come back and started to get into a rhythm now. 6 of 19, around 31%. Now the three-point percentage for both teams pretty similar. 1 of 8 for the Vulcans and 1 of 5 for Fayette. And the rebounds, 16 rebounds for Vulcans, 5 for Fayette.
That last number, of course, very telling as Fayette has struggled on the glass here a little bit, but we're going to have a violation called a travel against Gunther, and that's going to be Penn State Fayette basketball. 33-13, 9:30 to play. The Lions with plenty of time to keep this one as close as possible going into halftime. We've got 9:25 officially left on the clock. Here's Wilcox off of our wing, battling for space, nearly going to lose the basketball, and he will have it taken away by Moy. Moy gets it to the middle. That was Alexander who was driving the lane. Goes back to Moy. Now up top to Gunther. Gunther going to reset the play. There was some contact there, and a significant portion of the crowd not real crazy about it. More contact here. We're going to get a call this time. And that one's going to be called against number 11, Jesse Lawson.
Yeah. That's our net going to the line. Kind of a new, as of last year, new face for the Vulcans. Kind of worked in as well. Didn't get too much playing time, but definitely came through in some crucial spots. A lot of him and Alexander, number 20, both showing a lot of promise for this Vulcans front.
And plenty of size between the two of them. Alexander also listed at 6'8", Arnett going 6'6". And that is some impressive height, both out-of-state prospects for this Cal Vulcans team. And Arnett's going to knock both down 35-13 with 9:04 to play. Brandon Singleton will check in for the Cal Vulcans. And this is going to be Amir Powell for the Lions across the timeline. He moves it away from us to Wilcox. Wilcox brings it back our way. And this is going to be a nice block, but a nice follow-up by Zachary Hill. And Hill stays true to that one the whole way. Did not find himself hesitating at all to recover and lay that one in for two, 35-15. Ball on the wing. This is Buchanan, goes to the corner. Drive by Moy. Pop-out pass, and here's the three-point look by number 10, Singleton. Rattles out. Cal gets the ball back under control. Now they're going to try the opposite corner with Buchanan. Here's a rebound inside for Hill, but it's taken away by Alexander, who finishes it off inside. And Alexander, since he has checked in, has done a wonderful job for this Cal Vulcans team in really every level of the game. He plays the floor well. He scored some points, and he's also added some rebounds, too. No doubt about that. We're going to have a foul. I'm adjusting to basketball season, Braxton, in real time. A foul called here against the Cal Vulcans for the first time, I believe. And the scoreboard does seem to imply as much as well. Ball comes in for the Lions. They move it up top to Lawson, then back to Powell. Powell working off of our wing is going to defer to Wilcox. He keeps it there from the PSUAC logo. There is some contact. No call. Rebound pulled down by Alexander. 7:55 to play here in the first half. Good look inside to Alexander. That was the old-fashioned give and go out of the corner with Alexander driving the lane and getting the give, so to speak. Coming back, Wilcox up top to Powell. Powell going to move off the far wing to high post. Wants to go inside, and what a nice pass. Finishing it off nicely there is going to be Zachary Hill, and that's back-to-back buckets for number 12, Zachary Hill, the sophomore, coming to us from Frostburg State, Maryland native. The Cal Vulcans looking for another one here. This is going to be Moy way outside. This one rattles out. Easy rebound for Penn State Fayette. Pulled down by number 20, Drew Hebron. Hebron taking this one himself to the top of the key, defers to Powell. Powell, a little drive here, floats one up, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Cal Vulcans. The pass ahead is jumped by Wilcox. Wilcox, he has some help inside. He's going to work to the baseline and pop it out to Powell. Powell one more to the hot hand here, number 12. This one going to skip off the side of the rim from Zachary Hill. Hill had put together 4 consecutive points for the Lions just a moment ago. 6:42 to play. And right now, Braxton, I suspect more than anything else, Penn State Fayette would probably like to be well over that 20 mark going into halftime and keep this one as close as possible to make the second half interesting. We're going to have a foul called here as it's number 3, Duncan Moy, driving to the basket.
Yeah, as you said, we would like to get over that 20-point mark. A lot of things go into that, as I mentioned earlier, that mental aspect of a game. It's the little things that really count and really matter.
And we're going to see what essentially amounts to a line change here for Penn State Fayette. William Powell back inside, Jones, Taylor, Dennison. They will keep Zachary Hill in the game. So, fresh legs for the Lions with 6:31 to play. Second shot from Moy is good, 40-17 your score. Ball comes into Cy Jones. Jones fully capable of running point. An additional skill of his, although I think he prefers probably the shooting guard position. Ball up top here to Hill. Deep look, no good. Rebound going to be tracked down by nobody. Singleton had the beat on it, decides to let it go. Polak going to check back in. And Singleton will send this one in from the corner. 40-17 is your score. Thank you for joining us tonight on a very cool autumn evening here in the heart of Fayette County, the heart of Pennsylvania's Laurel Highlands. Ball comes this way. This is a look from a man very familiar with those Laurel Highlands. It's number 5, Keandre DeShields, the graduate from Laurel Highlands. He knocks down the 3, and it's 43-17. This is Dotson bringing it our way. Dennison wants to answer. That one skips off the rim, no good. Singleton pulls down the rebound, and he's going to lead this one across the timeline. 43-17, 5:41 to play here in the first half. Ball goes to Pullock. He moves it our way to Singleton, and then one more to Moy. Back up top to Singleton and to Pullock. Looks inside here. This is a drive from number 11, Palak. Palak going to come up short. That has not happened to him too often this evening. Coming back the other way, Taylor. To Jones, one more to Powell. Powell going to operate off of our wing now across to the opposite wing to Dennison. He hands it off to Jones. Jones wants the 3 ball and does not quite get it to stick. Rebound's going to be pulled down by Palak. Palak going to take the center lane. Pass ahead, and he tried to feed one into DeShields, but it's going to be jumped by Fayette. Coming back the other way is Taylor. Taylor needs some help. He's going to pop it out to Dennison. Here's another 3-point look from Dennison, and he is sent to the floor by Pollock. And Dennison is going to shoot. And we'll have a timeout queued there as well. 4:55 to play here in the first half on CUTV between the Cal Vulcans and the Penn State Fayette Lions, 43-17. And Braxton, we had a feeling that this would be a high-scoring game potentially. I believe it has been, with the Vulcans doing the lion's share of the scoring, no pun intended. But Penn State Fayette has had some good looks, and especially over the last few minutes, they have got some shots to fall.
Yeah, definitely. When they get on a run, they can stay on that run, especially especially what makes them dangerous. Couple that with their hustle that they have, especially under Coach Sancombe. It's just adds another layer to their game. And now their offense has been known, I mean, with any other team that can really experience difficulties, but they do find a way and do their best to stay in the game when that happens.
And I'm sure Coach Austin for Penn State Fayette would love to see one more drive strung together here by his Lions team, maybe put together a run and cut down what is right now a 26-point deficit. I think even if the Lions get that inside of 20, inside maybe even 18 with 4:55 to play, that gives you something pretty strong. To go off the base of the rim and bounce out. Score will stay 43-17. Second shot on its way, this one off the front of the rim, so we had one go a bit long, the other one a bit short. And Braxton right now, Dennison is looking for one to go just right here on his third and final attempt of three. On its way, and it's perfect. Cal Vulcans going to begin a new possession here. This is DJ Evans running point. He's going to move it to his right. Then it comes right back to Evans. He'll direct some traffic and pop it back out to Palak. Palak now sends it up top to Singleton. Cal Vulcans keeping this one way outside right now. Singleton back to Evans, and then back to Singleton and back to Evans again. Dotson nearly jumping that pass into the corner with 4:34 to play. Polak will step out with Dotson out there with him. Ball comes to Evans, then Singleton. Singleton look inside to Palak. Little turnaround jumper will go down, and that is some incredible touch, Braxton. For a big man, too, outside with a little bit of contact, I think. He gets it to roll right in.
Yeah.
And that's what Cy Jones does best. Talk about a combat shot. Cy not afraid to drive the lane, draw some contact. Senior out of Fairmont, West Virginia, no good on the foul shot. 45-20 though, 4:15 to play here in the first half. Palak to Polak. Polak corner three, no good, and the rebound nearly ripped down by Singleton. Nearly finished off by him. Dennison, though, going to beat him to the ball. Coming back to Jones now. Dennison pulls down the three, goes to Powell. Now corner look to Taylor, and they're going to say Taylor stepped on the sideline prior to the baseline drive. 3:59 to play here in the first half, 45-20. Pretty good crowd here on hand tonight at Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus. We do have spectators on both sides of the gym. It seems like most of the Cal Vulcan faithful have called the side that Braxton and I are on home, whereas most of the Lions faithful have taken the opposite side. No good look on that three. Rebound goes to Polak. Polak drives off the sideline. Nice look there to Palak. And it's hard to stop Palak when he gets to the block, especially with such a crisp pass, and he's going to lay that one in, and he's going to pick up the foul as well. And certainly, Braxton, I think it's fair to say it's a young season, but this Cal team is really going to benefit a great deal from this young man who's at the foul line right now.
Yeah, definitely last year had some ruts, especially with players coming back and him moving kind of where he was from previously, but definitely has fought back and is doing a pretty good job to start this season. As to that soft touch, especially inside, always great for a big man to have.
Drive here by Taylor through the paint. Little inside give to Dotson. Dotson goes reverse and gets it to stick. And Emmanuel Dotson, who was so impressive last year during critical games, lays down 2 here, 48-22. Up top, the Vulcans will keep the basketball. Singleton to Evans. Evans moves it to the corner. Here's DeShields for 3. This one skips off the rim, no good. And it's going to be knocked out of bounds by the Vulcans. I think a couple of Vulcans down near the paint thought that ball had struck Jones, but the official will give this one to the Penn State Fayette Lions. The Lions will finish up this half, of course, working left to right. They are in their white home uniform tonight. We'll see them working away from us in the second half. The Cal Vulcans in their very sharp black, red, and white road uniform. Jones trying to set something up. He's way outside. Now he drives across the arc, working hard here against Evans. Nice move by Jones over top of Palick, and he gets it to stick. And that is exactly what the Lions want out of Cy Jones, a dynamic player with plenty of experience who gets it done from everywhere on the floor. Now the Vulcans looking to answer. Hannah, big pass across to DeShields. Goes to the corner. Pollock going to fire it out to Evans. Evans, nice fake. And he's going to drive against Taylor, and this one's going to be blocked out of bounds from behind. That'll be William Powell getting a touch. And Jesse Lawson checking back in. Certainly the Lions have many scorers on this team, many shooters on this team, but it's really Lawson and Jones who are the movers and shakers to this point in the season. Ball taken away by Dotson. After a couple of players go to the floor, he gets it to Lawson, and then he goes to Taylor, and Taylor works the floor and lays it in for 2. Look out. 48-26. The Lions again stringing together a couple of points. They won't go away. Pollock to Evans, to Palick, back out to Pollock. 3 off the wing, no good. Rebound ripped down with authority by Lawson. Lawson wants to get something going here for the Lions before the half. He goes to Jones. Jones with a little drive, pops it out to Powell. Powell pulls down the 3, drives in, draws some contact, no call. Ball goes right to Palick. Palick wants the touchdown pass, and he does it to Hannah, lays it in for 2. And it's 50-26, 1:42 to play. Right now, Penn State Fayette and head coach Trey Austin, he's about as close as you can get to the coaching line, so to speak, right up near the score table. He wants the closest possible view as his offense unfolds here with Jones working off the wing, driving against Evans. Evans cuts him off, but it's the baseline jumper, and it's all nothing but the net there for Cy Jones. Evans brings it back the other way, 50-28. Now we do have a little bit of a shootout unfolding. Ball goes back to Pollock. Pops it to this corner. Here's DeShields, uncontested 3, and he's going to hit that all day if you give it to him. 53-28, 1:03 to play here in the first half. Coming back the other way, Taylor. Looking for some purchase. Fires one across to Powell. Up top to Dotson. Dotson loses his handle on it, but regains himself and gets it to Lawson, now to Jones. Jones off a screen from Dotson. He shot that one from Fairmont, West Virginia, and he hit it. 53-31 is your score. 42 seconds to play. The Cal Vulcans looking to finish here on a strong note, 22 points, the difference between these two teams. Evans moves it to Pollock, to Palick. Quick pass inside to Hannah. A little too quick, and it gets away. And we said maybe the Lions would like to keep this one at 20 at the half, as a couple of new players, including the very impressive number 13 for this Cal team, Donald Whitehead Jr., the 5'10 junior, and a Hickory product, checks in. Ball with Cy Jones, 53-31, 25 seconds to go, and it looks like the Lions may want the last shot. They are about a second off between the game clock and the shot clock. Maybe 2 seconds. Cy Jones not letting that fluster him. He's matched up here against Whitehead. Gets the screen, tries to split defenders. He's going to lose the – no, he's going to save the basketball and bounce it to Powell. Powell has to shoot. One up off the glass, no good. That's going to be a clock violation. Ball did not hit the rim. 1.4 seconds to play. Great job there by the Cal Vulcans, not allowing any room for Cy Jones to work with. Ball, big pass comes in, jump by Taylor. Taylor's going to float one up off the top of the backboard, no good. And that's going to do it for the first half here from Lamont Furnace, Penn State Fayette, the Eberly campus. 53-31 in favor of the Vulcans. Braxton, so far so good from both teams. I think the Cal Vulcans, when they had their starting 5 out there, they looked really, really good. For Penn State Fayette, they definitely had some runs. We're going to take a moment and step aside here, and we'll be right back on CUTV with the second half.
Coach Danny Sancombe and the Vulcans men's basketball is ready to take the conference and the nation by storm this season. A non-conference schedule that starts on November 8th is followed by the PSAC West play in January. Pack the Convocation Center with 13 home games featuring non-conference foes such as Concord, Lincoln, and Wilmington, as well as conference opponents IUP, Gannon, Slippery Rock, Clarion, Edinboro, Seton Hill, and Pitt Johnstown. Follow Cal Vulcans for the all-up-to-date schedule. Catch all the games on YouTube with CUTV Sports 1 and also the PSAC Digital Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this to make yourself feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive.
Welcome back to the heart of Fayette County. Penn State Fayette, the Everly campus. Penn State Fayette hosting the Cal Vulcans tonight. It's the Lions and Vulcans in a rivalry showdown, men's college basketball action here on CUTV. 53-31 your score with the Vulcans out front, although the Lions had a nice run before the end of the first half to keep this one in contention. This is Joshua Scully here with you tonight on CUTV. Thank you for checking us out. I'm alongside Braxton Turner, and we're going to defer to Braxton now, who's going to give you the finer details, the finer print on this first half.
So the field goal percentage from the Vulcans, 19-36, about 52%. Struggled pretty early in the game, but then got on it pretty quick and has just been on a run ever since. 14-35 for Fayette, and just didn't start off too great, but has done a great job, especially so far in the last few minutes with the run that they had, and has brought it back. So about 40%. And Cy Jones definitely key in that comeback so far. We've seen 4 of 11 now, so 9 points, 1 of 3 from deep. Pretty much instrumental in that comeback, and why they've done better than they have. Keith Pallick for the Vulcans, their leading scorer tonight right now. 16 points, 6 of 8 from the field, and 4 and 4 from the free throw line. And surprising, not too many minutes played by the Vulcans' other big, Bryson Lucas. And so as previous times have shown, Coach Shancombe for the Vulcans not too keen, or just hasn't really gone to the bench players as much, but this game has definitely mixed them all in, so is trying some things out, especially with his freshmen. I'm guessing to see how they work together. So as we get ready to start this second half, a new bit of a lineup change for both of these sides. And it will be Fayette basketball to start the half. Over to the wing. Jones takes it, gives it down low. Layup's good. So an easy find for Jones.
And that's what they like to see out of Emmanuel Dotson, too, the big man for Fayette, using that 6'5". He's one of their tallest bodies, at least, possibly their tallest body on paper, and he got it done for him there.
Pallick readjusting and putting in the layup. Pallick with the soft touch inside. Jones to Lawson up top. Taylor back to Jones. Thinks about it. Jones from deep. Off the front iron, no good. Alexander pulls it down and pushes up quickly. Polak finds Alexander on the wing. Rolls in and out. A rebound battle between Hannah and Dotson.
Some good sportsmanship there, too, Braxton, which we really like to see. I mean, there's a lot of common ground between these two schools. You see Hannah and Braxton get tied up there, and they both pat each other on the back afterward.
Yeah, never too keen to see any fights. Charge take by Pallick, but no call. But Vulcans bring it down the floor, and pass mishandled by Hannah, and that will go out of bounds. Fayette basketball. And with this style of play, have been known for a few turnovers here and there from the Vulcans.
I'm sure Penn State Fayette would love to be able to capitalize on a few of those turnovers. Nice drive there by Cy Jones for 2.
Yeah, Jones so far is just out of a bit of a slow start, but has been on a roll ever since. And Whitehead on the wing. Gives it to Hannah. Hannah, tough shot. Not able to come up with it. Tipped around by Alexander. Whitehead over to Polak. No good. But Alexander, the rebound and the putback, yes.
Alexander showing off some of that height there. He's got the reach, too. He gets off the floor well. Was not in the best position for that offensive rebound, but he just knocked it away from any Lion who could get it and took it for himself.
Jones closely guarded. Giles will pass it up to Powell. Lawson makes a move for three. Short. Rebounded by Alexander. Polak on the wing. That's good.
Nice shot by him. He's, once again, the Vulcans have plenty, but he's an exciting player to watch as well.
Polak a little bit of a slow start, especially in this game as well. Jones finds Powell in the corner. Steps back for three. Off the mark. Rebounded by Polak, but quickly off to Polak. Picked up by Alexander, and Alexander's fouled on the putback attempt. So even though no shots falling immediately, Vulcans staying on the extra point attempts.
Number 20, Alexander at the foul line, listed at 6'8", 215, from Fort Wayne, Indiana. A couple of new players checking in for Fayette as well, Cunningham and Hill on the floor.
His second free throw by Alexander is good. Now making it 61-35. Taylor drives on Arnett. Finds the corner as Powell. That shot is good.
Great looking shot there by Powell, and Fayette really needed that one to come up short from the arc so far. This second half, Powell knocks one down for him nicely there.
So Whitehead over the wing, Arnett, and Hannah left wide open in the corner. No good, but tipped in by Polak. Left alone to Rome for free.
Polak so good inside, so smooth for somebody who's 6'8".
Jones finds Lawson up top, and that's good as well.
Lawson was their dangerous man outside the arc in their first game against Penn Highlands, 4 for 8 outside the arc in that game. Knocks one down here. He's having a pretty strong evening for the Lions.
Polak looking for Hannah, stolen by Lawson, and what a pass. See if he get it through the defense, but not able to come up with it. It's Taylor.
Braxton, I've heard of threading the needle. I'm sure you have too, but it's hard to thread 3 needles at the same time. I think that's what we were trying to do there.
But just not able to come up quite with it.
It was very close. It was a close play.
Whitehead in the corner. Alexander thought about the shot. Drives baseline and finds Hannah wide open. Beautiful feed in the slam. Taylor up top, picks up his dribble over to Lawson. Lawson with the hot hand. Picks up his dribbles, trying to find a man, but it's knocked away by Hannah. It'll still be Fayette basketball.
I think what's really impressive about Hannah is that he moves so well up top, and he's guarding Lawson right now, who is listed at 6'2", but Hannah is 6'4", so Lawson's giving up 2 inches to him, and Hannah is with him every step of the way.
Jones drives on Whitehead and easy lane to the basket. A beautiful reverse layup. Get it out quick, and Whitehead is fouled on the pull-up jump shot.
And Braxton, I can tell you, having watched a lot of Penn State Fayette Lions basketball over the years, Cy Jones, he's incredible. And there have been so many times where it looked like the Lions might be out of a game or on the ropes, and he'll do something like that, then he'll get a steal and pop a 3, and he'll score 5 points in the space of 7 or 8 seconds. He's an incredible player.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen from the last couple possessions as well, has done it all, just about do everything in, as well as get his teammates involved. As that first free throw from Whitehead is good, so is the second. Vulcans had, I believe, Buchanan check in after the first free throw. Lawson makes a move, but pulls up for 3 short. Rebounded by Arnett, given to Polak. Over to Alexander, and Alexander fouled on the layup.
I think William Powell getting a piece of him on the way up.
Alexander's first shot rattles out. And back in to check in for Penn State Fayette, Wilcox.
Ray Wilcox from Tokyo, Japan.
So definitely quite a ways to find himself here.
Yes. And he's an exciting player, too. Very dynamic player. 10 points in the first game for Fayette against Penn Highlands. Penn State Fayette head coach Trey Austin has done a great job of rejuvenating this team after the Lions lost a couple of key players from last season, and he's really cast a wide net to find the pieces he's needed.
Jones, quick pull-up for three. Off the mark. Palak bringing the ball up the floor. Looks inside, finds Alexander. Back out to Whitehead. Whitehead for three. No good, but batted around, pulled down by Lawson. Lawson pushing the ball up court. Looking for Wilcox, tipped, but still finds his way back to Lawson. And he'll set up the offense. Wilcox making a move, a step back, but will decide to give it up. Ball stolen by Arnett. Finds Buchanan, layup. No good, but rebounded and pulled in by Alexander on the cleanup.
Good complimentary basketball there by the Vulcans. Don't give up on the play. Make sure you finish, and they did that perfectly there.
And just Jones sliding in, making it look easy. So Cannon up top, finds Whitehead. Halleck on the wing. Back up to Cannon. Back to Whitehead. Vulcans running their offense, looking for a good shot. Post down to Palak before he's fouled by Jones. Definitely got the mismatch underneath.
I find it interesting that they moved Jones to Palak, but I think probably what they're looking to do is stop Palak's outside game. He's so quick with the basketball. Once you let him get to the lane, you're more or less not going to stop him without fouling him. I think the hope must be that Jones would be able to jump the pass or deny the dribble for Palak, given that Jones is the better part of half a foot shorter. He's going to have a better read on the basketball and where it's coming from Palak's hand. But Palak, boy, he's just an exciting player to watch, and especially having seen the numbers for the kind of start that he's had in those first two games. And one thing, Braxton, we haven't mentioned that I think is a great topic here. The Vulcans are 2-0. One of those wins, and a pretty good one, coming against Glenville State, who this Penn State Fayette team is going to play in a couple of days.
Yeah, so I guess definitely a good scout as Vulcans took over Glenn State 84-71. So always a good scout team or a good scout ahead to look at how these teams have interacted as well as their in-game stats, as I don't have access to that right now. But so win by 13 by the Vulcans. Glenville State, no slouch of a team either. But Fayette, I'd imagine, as any team at the college level has a fighting chance, especially early in the season when teams are still figuring out how they'll mesh together. So as we get back to it, 70-45, Vulcans scoring 17 to Fayette's 14. Ball inbounded to Buchanan. Just a bit too strong. Rebounded, a quick push up to Lawson, and Lawson blocked by Alexander.
The Cal Vulcans getting their first two games of the season in the Charleston, West Virginia tip-off challenge, which I'm sure Braxton would be an exciting experience for them, going to a big city like Charleston, playing some competition maybe outside the realm of who you'd typically see, too.
Lawson makes a move and is able to get the ball in the bucket. Whitehead into Dowman. Back to Whitehead. Over to Arnett. Vulcans' last couple of possessions deciding to run their offense. Ball saved by Alexander. Palak for three in the corner. Off the mark. Rebounded by Arnett. Strong put back in the bucket's good. So past Hill. just right. Rebounded by Whitehead. He'll pull it back. Finds Alexander alone on underneath, but fumbles with the ball. So he'll have to bring it back out. Pass inside to Whitehead, but knocked out of bounds by Lawson. Last couple possessions, Vulcans deciding to run their offense.
It's been a lot of fun tonight watching Whitehead, who's very quick on his feet. He's an excellent defender, moving with Lawson, and even sometimes Jones in transition too. He has done a really good job. I have a feeling it's the beginning of a great season for that young man.
And definitely a crucial piece to this Vulcans team here. Moy checking in earlier. Inbound ball stolen. And over to Jones, and layup is good. So Fayette quickly capitalizing off the steal. Arnett finds Palak, and Palak just flips it up underhanded and somehow able to get it to fall in.
Not a whole lot you can do to stop that without hacking him down.
Jones driving. Looks for Hill, but it's broken up. Moy back to Duncan. Buchanan back to Moy, and the layup is good. Lawson, the three-point threat. Finds Wilcox in the corner for deep. Off the mark, left short. Rebounded by Whitehead. Buchanan just takes it up. Is able to get the ball to fall.
And right now, Braxton, I think if you're Penn State Fayette, you've got 11-14 left. It's nearly a 30-point game, but you've done a nice job representing yourself here tonight, and it would be good to see the Lions put together one more run and not be lost in the midst of this game, how well they played late in the first half and even early in the second half here.
Sure. Whitehead finds Arnett on the pull-up. Ball rims out. Lawson will bring the ball up the floor. Makes a move or two. Left-handed layup. Not able to get it to fall. Unsure if Arnett got a hand on it or not. But Palak on the offensive side gets the bucket and the foul. So looking to go to the line and get three the old-fashioned way.
Brandon Dennison trying his best there to deny Palak the easy route to the basket, but Palak is so fluid with both hands. And again, I think that's going to be a theme for this Cal team all season. There will be teams who struggle with him, not only because of his size and his quickness and the fact that he's got some great dexterity, but the fact that he's good at the foul line, and it's hard not to foul him. There's a lot of him to accidentally hit.
Yeah, pretty much, and he's just done so far a great job even as last season. Just able to draw fouls and get to the line effectively. As Wilcox, the aggressiveness, draws a foul on Whitehead, and we'll head to the line for two.
Wilcox had a pretty strong outing for this Fayette team first time through. He's able to knock down the first foul shot, too. Sorry, Braxton.
No, you're fine. I was about to say, first time Wilcox has head to the line tonight. So that first bucket is good. Second one as well. So now 51-81. Shields on the wing. Over to Arnett. Shields again. Dry spins. Just not able to get the layup to fall. Ball tipped up and in by Arnett. Just a loss in the hill. Dennison in the corner for three. That bucket's good.
Nice take there by Dennison as well. Knocks it down. And Braxton, one thing I forgot to mention earlier in the broadcast, we are just missing on this tonight, Keandre DeShields, who is now with the Cal Vulcans and is having a nice game here tonight. His brother last season played for Penn State Fayette, and I thought it would have been cool. We just missed it by a year, to have those two get to match up to each other in this game.
Yeah. Arnett just takes it and is able to get the ball to fall and the foul as well. Able to dribble through it. I believe Billy DeShields, I believe his older brother, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because I played against him as well. But ladies and gentlemen, score 85-54. We will return to CU TV Sports 1, PSAC Digital Network.
The Vulcan women's basketball team looks to continue its run of excellence into the 2024 season. Put on your red and black and cheer on Coach Jess Strom and her team towards another run to the postseason. Pack the convo for 14 home games for games against regional foes and the best the PSAC has to offer. Don't miss any information on the season by following Cal Vulcans on all social media accounts, and if you can't make it to the games, catch all the action on CUTV Sports 1 on YouTube and also the PSAC Digital Network.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Penn State Fayette. Score 85-54 between the Vulcans and the Penn State Fayette Lions. Right now at the line, Arnett, after muscling in that and one bucket. His free throw is good. Singleton into sub for him. So a lot of players mixing in for the Vulcans. Lawson on the wing.
And I'm sure Braxton, Coach Sancombe for Cal has to appreciate this opportunity as well. He's getting a lot of his players on the floor, getting them some minutes, getting them acclimated to the sort of offense that he wants to run, and maybe even getting a chance to use them in some different positions from where they may typically be used as well.
Yeah, a lot of players getting the feel on the floor and with each other as some of these guys still haven't really gotten a lot of playing time together, which can affect a wide variety on the floor. As Taylor up top to Dennison. Ball tipped.
He knew he couldn't touch it. He didn't know what else to do.
Pollock just waited for someone to come in, but just decides to get the ball to blow dead. So Fayette does not get it, but will take it anyway. Lawson driving and fouled. It's Taylor. And he'll head to the line for the first time tonight.
And Braxton, I do want to say, I'm sure we'll get a chance to say this again later, I really appreciate the opportunity to join you and CUTV tonight and all of the fine people we have working here behind the camera. Truly a full crew. This is a full production crew here, which is incredible. They've done great work. And correct me if I'm wrong, Braxton, but this broadcast is not just available on YouTube. If viewers at home have Breeze Line or I think maybe even Armstrong Cable, they're able to access this too.
Yep, Breeze Line Channel 17. I forget what it is for Armstrong, but also available on Cablecast online as well. And us at CUTV do appreciate the hospitality by everyone here at Penn State Fayette.
We sort of got we'll say the Eagles' nest seating here at Penn State Fayette. We're way up high in the bleachers, but it's a great view. You see the whole game. There's no question about that.
Yep. Inside is Moy and is able to get that layup to go. Dennison again from three. just a bit too strong. Pulled down by Moy. Polak driving is hammered inside.
Well, hopefully everyone okay there.
Good sign, able to hop back up. Polak last year, pretty much sidelined for the vast majority of the season with, I forget which injury, maybe a wrist. Yep, wrist injury. So now being able to see him to come back and work back to his full potential, definitely a good sign. As Jones checks back in.
Cam's had a nice start to this season, too. He's a great piece for this team. This is a good, exciting Vulcans team. And for anyone who's listening locally, just keep in mind, these two schools, they're only separated by 20 miles. You could easily drive to see either one of them.
Yep.
We're right here at Penn-State Fayette for the Lions all season. You get a nice facility here. And, of course, maybe one of the best facilities anywhere you're going to see at Cal for the Vulcans home games. That is a really, really awesome venue.
That's Taylor getting the ball from Wilcox, but steps out of bounds. Yeah, the Convocation Center, definitely a sight to see. Just wait for the day, or glad for the day that an event fills up all of those seats. I've yet to see it myself, but you hope for it someday.
Yeah, it's just a state-of-the-art facility, and when I was a student there, Braxton, back in the Stone Age, that building did not exist yet, but I really wish it had, because that would have been a really, really cool asset to have on campus back then.
And the and one bucket from the Shields.
Keandre DeShields, what a wonderful career he had at Laurel Highlands High School, part of some tremendous Laurel Highlands Mustang teams.
Taylor finds Dennison. Dennison making a jab or two. Well, has the ball stripped, but as Dotson on the recovery is able to get the left hook to go. Gunther up top. Finds Polak. Singleton. Back to Gunther. The Shields on the wing. Polak drives, Euros, finds the Shield in the corner, and that bucket is good.
Incredible. Incredible shot. Falling off the court while he shot that, no less.
Yep. The Shield's 4-6 from the field and 3 of 4 from deep. So it's definitely had the hot hand as well.
I think he's going to be a great addition to this Cal Vulcans team, as I'm sure time will reveal to the Vulcan faithful.
There's a little miscommunication between Taylor and Wilcox. Going to be Vulcans basketball.
Now, Braxton, I have to ask, you had mentioned earlier in the broadcast you played against both the Shields brothers. Of course, Keandre, number 5 here, he's going to take the baseline drive, although they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. You are a former Albert Gallatin Colonial, so you had the experience against both the Shields. Now, I have to ask you this. When you were in middle school, were you north or south?
I'm always south. So
did you remember ever playing A.J. McMullen Middle School?
I don't ever know if we really – I remember playing – I don't think we ever played A.J. McMullen per se. Every time we played Uniontown and everything, it was always at Ben Frank, that small gym inside.
Well, if you ever did, maybe – it's slipping your mind. You and I would have crossed paths there, because I've coached that team for probably the last 15 years. Your name is very familiar to me, so I feel like, aside from the fact that I read some of your articles in the Cal Times, I feel like somewhere, somehow, I've crossed paths with you before. I just can't put my finger on it.
Moy's free throw, no good. Taylor, ball tipped. But finds Dennison. Dennison decides to drive, but stolen. It's slammed home by the Shields.
I think I felt that from up here. That may have registered on the Richter scale somewhere.
The bucket and the foul by Jones. A beautiful footwork inside, able to flip that ball up and in.
We don't see a lot of earthquakes in southwestern Pennsylvania, but that may have been one.
No. Looks like we have some new faces checking in.
Looks like we have number 24 Teray out there. Ibrahim Teray.
And number 14, Jordan Tavares.
Perchinsky also back in for Fayette. Nice take there by Evans. My goodness.
Going through the lane. Fayette running their offense. Powell up top, spinning. Finds a man in Hill underneath the basket and is able to get it up and to go.
Good work there by Hill, considering he had to have the awareness to know exactly where he came down with that pass and relation to the glass. He adjusted himself, laid it in, made it look simple.
Evans left wide open for three and is able to get that one to go. Powell driving. Kicks it back out. Ron.
Perchinsky from way downtown hit that.
And so Fayette definitely getting some offense to go. It was an offensive battle it has been so far, especially so far in this game from both sides. Gunther. That's Teray. Left wide open in the bench for the Vulcans. Definitely getting a standing ovation from them. Evans playing close. Perchinsky making a move, losing the handle. Fades and is able to get the turnaround to go. Tough shot.
That was really impressive considering he had a little bit of contact there on the way in. Another nice look there by Evans, too.
And just back and forth offensively have these teams gone in these last few minutes.
We may see a total of 200 points scored in this game.
Well, Powell not able to get his shot to go. Rebounded by Gunther. Gunther pushing it down the floor. Teray driving to the basket. Just loses the handle on it. Picked up by Perchinsky. Was looking for Powell, but a miscommunication. Teray just go for the layup inside. Off the miscommunication. Powell, Perchinsky thinking about the three. Fading again.
Wow.
And has a hot hand tonight.
Landon Perchinsky, the Johnstown native, coming all the way from the Flood City, and the floodgates are open. He has scored 3 consecutive possessions.
And has made the most of his minutes as just checking in. Tavares finds Gunther for 3. Too strong.
Nice rebound by Cunningham there.
Yep. Ron finds Powell. Perchinsky, but stolen by Singleton. Singleton.
They wanted to go to Perchinsky there. I guess you had to. You really almost had to. You might want to even go to him here again.
Might as well always find the hot hand. And a beautiful move by Powell, able to flip that up and in. So with a little under 2 minutes left, guessing both teams just going for the offensive show. Singleton losing the ball, but finds Tavares in the corner. Rolls out.
Another good rebound for Cunningham inside for Fayette.
Brzezinski brings the ball up the floor, keeping it himself. Deep three, but left short. What a heck of a shot. But battling inside is Cunningham.
Cunningham has about 4 rebounds, I think, 2 defensive and 2 offensive in the last 90 seconds.
Yeah, this is definitely putting in work on the boards. Gunther in the corner. Singleton for 3. Off right, picked up by Tavares. We'll pull it back. Look for a better shot. Evans almost losing his footing. Thray over to Singleton. Back to Evans for 3. Off the mark. It will be Fayette basketball.
And I don't think we're going to quite hit the 200 mark, but we're going to be very close between the two teams, 115-76. Fayette's going to get the last possession. And Braxton, I think this was a great tune-up game, if you will, for both of these teams.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
The Vulcans certainly put a lot of points on the board. They've got some tough competition in the near future, but my goodness, they have all the pieces I think you could really want playing at the level they're playing at right now. And for Penn State Fayette, I think this was a good game to be able to go out, and you kept pace with a very good team. And I think for Coach Austin, the bottom line has to be treat that game against Glenville State the same way. That game's coming up, and then you get a couple days of practice early next week before you start in some PSUAC play against Penn State York. Penn State York is a very good team within the PSUAC, so Fayette will come right out of the gate with a pretty serious challenge. But I think that's going to be very exciting for Coach Austin to go back and look and see what went right here, because a lot did go right for the Lions, especially right around halftime. I think late first half, early second half, there were stretches where they looked like they certainly are going to have the pieces they need to put together that strong season.
Yeah, and the thing about any season is the fine-tuning. You have the pieces. It's just a matter of how well can you have them mesh together. Not too sure what the hold-up on the floor is for the second horn. As Fayette will just roll the ball in. Powell finds Brzezinski. Brzezinski from deep.
Thought he might have off the glass there for 1 second.
Not too short. And ladies and gentlemen, that'll do it as a last buzzer here. 115-76. As you said, a good feel-out game between both of these teams. California able to, and Coach Sancombe able to mix some guys in that he wouldn't normally otherwise, especially when they get into conference play. And good showing by Fayette, able to also do as well. Mix in some players and see what some weaknesses or strengths are in this game. Do you have anything here?
I think one thing for Penn State Fayette coming away from this game, and obviously the Vulcans have several really talented pieces, but I think for Penn State Fayette, you keep your head up here. You did a nice job, and you get ready for your season against Penn State York coming up in about a week.
Yep. So, again, 115-76. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Braxton Turner with Mr. Joshua. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.